After suffering a terrible loss to Cleveland yesterday, the Ravens got some much needed, incredible news, almost best case scenario type news. Let's dive into it.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So Ian Rappaport just reported that Marlon Humphrey has a calf strain, a low calf strain. It is not an Achilles, and he's considered day-to-day. I mean, I don't know if this could have been any better news. Obviously, best case scenario is him not even getting hurt in the first place. But if you've watched that video, I'll show it again up here. That looks like an Achilles. I mean, it also obviously makes sense that it's a calf strain. It's a similar area, they're connected. But, man, I feared that was Achilles. Every Twitter doctor in the world was saying that that's definitely an Achilles. So I'm not trusting the Twitter doctors that much anymore because it is a low calf strain and he's day-to-day. Now, is Marlon Humphrey going to play Thursday against the Bengals? I would say there's like a 99% chance that does not happen. Nor should it, to be honest, because we need to be healthy down the stretch. We need to be healthy. This is down the stretch, but I'm talking the last couple games before the playoffs. We know that this AFC North is going to be a dogfight down to the last week or two, and we need Marlon Humphrey then, and we need a healthy Marlon Humphrey and a healthy team going into the playoffs. So if he has to miss this Cincinnati game, it's not ideal at all, obviously, but I'm over here thinking that this guy tore his Achilles potentially and is gone for the year. So day-to-day is best case scenario based on that injury. I mean, we needed some positive news after that loss yesterday, and we got it. I'm feeling rejuvenated already. Is the Bengals game on Thursday going to be tough? Yes. Is it a must-win? That's a tough conversation. I mean, to have a stress-free, keys are in your hands, we control the North, yeah, it's a must-win. But is the season over if we lose to Cincinnati Thursday? No. You know what I mean? We may lose the division lead depending on... Actually, we will lose the division lead if we lose Thursday because the Browns and the Steelers play each other. So one of them is going to be 7-3. So we would lose the division lead if we lose to the Bengals. But that's saying that like the Browns or Steelers or Bengals aren't going to lose another game or two throughout the rest of the year. I'm sure they will. They play each other again. We play the Steelers again. I mean, there's so many other variables yet to happen. So I would say it's not a must win. It's either playoffs you're in or not. It's not that kind of scenario. It's too early for that. But man, there's a lot of weight on this game. As a fan, I feel like it's a must win. There's pressure on this game. We really could stay atop the North and kind of control our own destiny if we do beat the Bengals Thursday. And we put the Bengals in a major hole. And it looks like the Bengals are going to miss some key guys too. I mean, Trey Hendrickson's very unlikely to play. He hyperextended his knee yesterday. That's a very quick turnaround on Thursday. So I don't think they're going to have Trey Hendrickson, who's their best pass rusher. And then Sam Hubbard and T. Higgins are also up in the air. So key players that might not play for the Bengals. T. Higgins is obviously a huge one. Trey Hendrickson's obviously a huge one. Ronnie Stanley's also probably not going to play. I don't know the severity of Ronnie's injury at this point. We'll probably hear from Harbaugh today, and we'll have an update. But as of right now, I don't expect Stanley to play. His leg got rolled up on and looked like the same knee. I mean, it's just not a good situation. But us losing a tackle, them losing Trey Hendrickson and or Sam Hubbard, and then us losing Marlon Humphrey and them not having T. Higgins would kind of be a wash. I mean, I definitely am still worried about the Bengals offense, especially how our defense looked last week. If Deshaun Watson can do what he just did against our defense, I think Joe Burrow can. And it just concerns me that they had these long, extended drives and we just couldn't stop them. I expect a better performance on Thursday. There's a lot more pressure to perform. It's at home. It's a night game. We're probably going to be blacked out. This is a big game. We face a lot of good offenses the rest of this season. That's why I was so worried about this Marlon Humphrey injury. We got the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the 49ers. I mean, none of them are easy games. And if we didn't have Marlon, we would be struggling. I think our offense would have to score a lot of points almost every game. So the fact that Marlon's day-to-day, I think he'll be back next week most likely then, because we have an extended break here. It would be very unlikely for him to play Thursday. I'm just glad that he's day-to-day. Prayers are answered. The season continues. I think we'll be fine. We got to play for 4 quarters. It was a little concerning that I heard these comments from Kyle Hamilton. I'll play the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
But yeah, I mean, the past 2 home games, we've been treated to 30-point wins, the Lions and Seahawks, and came out today, it was looking the same. I feel like guys kind of let off the gas a little bit. Not pointing any fingers at all, just saying top to bottom as an organization, I feel like we could do a better job just locking in. Not that guys weren't locked in, but just be that much more intense even though we have a lead.
I don't love that he said that the team let off the gas. Now, I watched Jadeveon Clowney's press conference, and he said, I wouldn't say we let off the gas. Clearly, we did a little bit, and Kyle Hamilton's admitting it. We were up 17-3. We were up 31-17, and we've been blowing teams out. We've been scoring 30-plus a week. Our defense has been playing out of their minds. You go into a little cruise control, like, here we go again. We're just that good. We're just a dominant football team. And then, boom, Browns just want it more. They just physically dominate you. And that's embarrassing. That can't happen. Shout out to the Browns again, not taking anything away from them. They wanted that. They deserve that win. We obviously could have won, but they played harder. They imposed their will, which usually we do to teams, they did to us. And we can't have that going forward. That's one thing you can control. Your effort is something you can control, and we usually bring it. And we had it early yesterday, but we just let off that gas. Kyle Hamilton admitted it. I don't like hearing that. That is something that the players need to make sure they're locked in on, and the coaches need to reiterate and hold each other accountable, because we need to play hard. These games matter big. That Cleveland loss is massive. We could have taken full control of the North. Now we're in a dogfight, but everything still lies in front of us. That's the good thing. We lose to the Bengals Thursday, things get a little muddy. Definitely doesn't mean that our season's over or anything, but we kind of lose control of the division a little bit with a lot of tough games coming up. We're probably going to drop another game or two. I definitely don't just see us winning out against all these top teams. So we need to make sure that we're in control. We're in the driver's seat. You don't want to have to be, needing some help from the Browns loss or a Steelers loss or whatever, or if the Bengals get hot and they end up going, you just don't want to have to deal with all that. We can beat the Bengals Thursday and take command of this ship and pretty much control our own destiny to win the North. But yeah, great news. Wanted to come on here and share this positive news with you guys on a Monday morning after a loss. It's always good to get some news you might not have been expecting. I definitely wasn't expecting day to day. So this is very positive. I think we dodged a major bullet with Marlon Humphrey and on to Cincinnati. So appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.